Hello everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII. This is episode 8. Last time we did the Gold Saucer and Coral Prison, and we won the Chocobo race to get us out, and we are free to roam the world in our buggy. Now, we are supposed to be crossing the river and heading in that direction, but we have some things to do first and foremost. We're moving. This is bad. Oh boy, there's no way we can walk across now. Unless we had a buggy. Now, if we take the buggy on the sands here, we'll get into a fight, and there's a particular enemy that we are looking for in the desert here, called a harpy. We'll take the opportunity to grind some enemies for a while, because Tifa and Cloud do need to kill some enemies to unlock their next limit break. But we are looking for an enemy called a harpy, and they have an enemy skill for us to learn, so we're going to collect some enemy skills before we proceed, and they're very, very useful and powerful ones. There you go. So this is our harpy. It's kind of more of a chimera arrangement, but they want to call it a harpy. So we want to make sure that our characters are... There it is! First attack, actually, so that saves us a lot of time. There it is. Yuffie got killed, sadly, so that's a problem. But we learnt Aqualung. Very powerful attack. And here's Ramuh. Guys, look, it's Sid from Final Fantasy 16. Oh, 666. And it didn't even kill it. Jesus. Nice. So that's our first opportunity to get that ability. And now we'll continue our journey. We're actually going to go for a bit of a beach vacation. And we're going to be taking advantage of a very particular materia that we've got recently, the manipulate materia, because the next two enemy skills that we're looking to obtain, they will never be used on us naturally. You have to force the enemies to do it. And now when it's Tifa's turn, we will actually be in control of the monster instead, and we have Big Guard. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this twice. So we use Big Guard. Yuffie has now learned Big Guard, and then I'm going to have to do it again. I'll have to cast it on Tifa. So this is an amazing ability, because this gives you Barrier and Magic Barrier. Oh, and his skill power is used up. It only gets one of those uses per turn. Just unfortunate placement of our characters there. Big Guard on this party. And now Tifa will learn it. There we go. Yeah, just a very useful ability. Barrier and MB Barrier. I always feel like the barriers don't last very long in Final Fantasy VII. They kind of go down very, very quick, but very useful to have. And we're actually going to become a stowaway and head over to the other side. As you can see, we drove our buggy into Costa del Sol because you can fit the buggy on the boat. 100 gil to Junon, put a good word in with the captain, we'll pay up. Pretty cheap. We also get to stick our vehicle on board, and then we say thank you very much for taking us across the ocean. Heading on back to Junon. I do love that you're not restricted this way, right? Like, you can go back if you so please, which I'm very grateful for. You could do a Fort Condor battle, but we're gonna not do that. Lately, the economy seems to be improving. Must be the Rufus effect. Cargo ships are always coming and going from Costa del Sol. I'll forget your being stowaways if you help with the cargo. Again, it's like, hello? I am wearing a soldier uniform. I should blend in quite well, actually. Need a heli taxi, only in Junon. Free to Air Force personnel. Yes, I'm Air Force personnel. Roger. Hey, taxi. Hey, taxi. And then we can go outside of Junon, so we don't have to walk through. Outside Junon it is. Was free, and now you can drive around here. There's a very specific enemy that we are looking for out in the wilds that we wish to use manipulate on, and it's the first one that we find. There you go. For White Wind, there it is. Now we White Wind the whole party. Enemy skill White Wind has been learned. Awesome. And that's what we're doing for today. That's it. White Wind, and Big Guard, and Aqualung. So there's a total of 4 enemy skills, 4 enemy skill materia in the game. The other 2 will not come up for quite some time, so you can eventually go back and fill it up with the other 2. But this is pretty good. And now we head back. When you're heading back through Junon, because you have to go the long way to get back onto the ship, it's really nice, because you do get some unique dialogue with characters that are around here when you revisit. It's like, all I wanted was to become a pilot. I used to be speechless watching the high wind in the sunset. And then if you go into the change room again, you've got this happening. You got the soldiers practicing and practicing the special pose, the victory pose. Someday I'll get to use my special pose in a real battle. Same here, I'll keep practicing until then. So if you just want to endlessly hear the victory theme, it's in that room, which is pretty cool. And you can also go and check out the other locations, like the Turks were here during the presidential inauguration, but they won't be here. Again, it'll be like a different crew. It just isn't a party without Rude. Looks like something's going on outside, we're too smashed to do anything. Yeah, so Rude's not there anymore. And then I think the other Turks were like next door in one of the other buildings. Oh, and then you've got this in here, which is, hey, stay out of the way. Ever since I was late to that parade, they've been on my back every day with basic training. Hey, stop yapping. I can't handle it anymore. So this is the dude paying for us stealing his uniform. So he's just getting chastised by by higher command. We really screwed that dude over. And then they made sure that you just like rub it in there when you go to check in with him. And we've got the sleeping soldiers just snoozing. The fucking snoring sound effect. The fact that I actually bothered to put snoring sound effects and little like me is so funny. Like the 2 different types of snorers right next to each other. So I really kind of surprises me when there is like that level of effort put into these interactions that are so easily missable and just barely even there. You know, it's just like most people who will cross the ocean will rarely ever find a reason to come back. They'll be like, yeah. So there's just a lot of stuff that you can miss out on. Like, you can even take this up here now earlier than usual, and you can go and take a look around here. And you're like, you can't pass. You can get a look at some cool pre-rendered backgrounds up here. where you'll basically just be shut down at every turn. So, like, you cannot be here. We'll come back here eventually, but it is pretty neat that you can kind of take a peek early. And then there'll be some characters doing some drills near the underwater reactor. So instead of the Turks, you got soldiers here. I'm a good-looking man once I take my uniform off. Booze, booze, ain't nothing like booze when you're on the clock. I'll talk to this guy. Let's see if I can get this guy. I keep getting the lass. I needed a move so I can talk to the other guy. There we go. Oh, come on. There he is. Mommy! My mommy! It's just like, what? So the fact that, like, you can come back to Junon, and then they've just got, like, characters that have replaced ones that used to be there with just this random dialogue. I love it. It honestly is quite brilliant. None of the stores have anything new for you, I believe. We could afford to buy the other accessories from that old man, but we'll still pass. We've got this guy. Oh, actually, talk to this guy again, and he says, "You got me there. We just hired her part-time. She ran off with our money and materia. I guess any situation that seems too good to be true usually is. Well, please feel free to browse around, just don't mind looking at leftovers." Same inventory, but it is absolutely hilarious that it acknowledges Yuffie being a little thief. She's like, "Thanks for letting me work part-time, I'm gonna steal all your inventory now." Perfect. Alright, and now we can proceed with our adventure. So some enemy skills and some cool stuff to see, and then we cross over. And there isn't actually, this location that we're about to go to is actually optional. But obviously we are going to do it, which is Gongaga. And we're going to change our party arrangement for this as well. There's a specific reason why. We're also going to have a look in this house. No one's here. We'll come back later. Okay, looks pretty cool in there, but we can't do anything about it yet. And one thing that we're going to do here before we go into Gongaga is we are actually going to get into a fight. There is a specific enemy that we need to encounter in the forest here for another enemy skill, and it is not these. These enemies suck because they will petrify you, and they will have no issue petrifying you. And this is why you want to carry softs to cure your petrification. No, we want to encounter the lovely frogs, which are called Touch Me. Very interesting enemy name, because if they touch you, they turn you into a frog. But they also have an ability called Frog Song, and that's why we're here today. So, which reminds me, I need to get the white cape. Because we do need to be immune. At least one of us needs to be immune to the effects. And we'll put it on Tifa. So as long as she's immune to being a frog, one of us will be able to still participate in the fight as normal. And it's kind of hilarious because, like, this is a funny gif that goes around a lot, is the animation for this frog. And people are like, they have no idea what it's actually from. Look at these little guys. They're so good. Here's Frog Song. So, Frog Song gets done to one person. And it puts them to sleep and turns them into a frog. So obviously we only need really a few of them to be alive for this to work. go. Tifa will learn Frog Song. There we go. And Yuffie will now learn Frog Song. There you go. Wonderful. That's what we came here for. And now we can massacre these frogs if they choose to attack us because we are all sleeping. Or they can use Frog Song to wake you up, or they can use Frog Song to put you to sleep, or they can use Frog Song to wake you up again. And they will specifically only target the one person that isn't a frog. Use speed up mode just to speed this process along. There we go. Two of them remained frogs, because of course they did. But there you go. That is Frog Song, which is, you know, you gotcha, you believe it, you better believe it. It turns you into a frog and it puts you to sleep. There you go. And that is worthy of a save after everything has been said and done. We will actually swap party members. I'm going to have Tifa and Aerith in the party. It is for a very specific reason. And you will see why. We're going to nullify fire attacks, because I think that the upcoming fight does involve quite a little bit of fire. And then we'll swap Yuffie's materia with Aerith. Even though Aerith should have Tifa's materia, really. But what are you going to do? Right, now we're going to head into Gongaga. Someone there? Hey, rude. Who do you like? What are you getting so embarrassed about? Come on. Who do you like? Tifa. That's a tough one. But poor Elena. She, you... No, she likes Song. Oh, I never knew that. But Song likes that ancient. What are they talking about? It's so stupid. They always talk about who they like or don't like, but Song is different. Ah! Oh no! They're here! They're really here! Then it's time. Rude, don't go easy on them. Not even the girls. Don't worry, I'll do my job. Then we're counting on you. I'll report to Song. It's been a while. Payback time for what you did in Sector 7. Sector 7? Doesn't ring a bell. That's sad. That's as far as you go. Now, it's a boss battle, but it doesn't play the boss battle theme, sadly. But you gotta have Tifa and Aerith in the fight. I just find it hilarious. And then we'll equip Big Guard. Look at that. There you go. Making use of the new enemy skills we've learned. So you can see what they do. And it's also haste as well. So barrier, M barrier, and haste. And then White Wind restores HP and status to every ally. It's a very good enemy skills to have. And then Aqua Lung is also very useful to have as well, because it's powerful, baby. Look at that damage, dude. Look at that damage. Reno ran away, and Rude ran away in one shot together. So, very useful abilities. Make them so they can't do much damage to us, and your attacks are very fast. and also just drown them in Aqualung. And they're like, oh shit, see ya. So that is the first encounter with Rude and Reno in a fight together. But that's why I love how Final Fantasy VII Remake did it differently. And we're like, let's do Rude and Reno at the Sector 7 fight. And that was just really beautiful. So I'm really curious how they're going to handle this sequence in Rebirth, especially because they said that Reno will have a little bit of a reduced role because of the Japanese voice actor passing away. So we will see. Hey, something seems wrong. Like they knew we were coming. They followed us, but there weren't any signs of it. Then that means that there's a Shinra spy. I don't even want to think about there being a spy. I trust everyone. So we changed the party. We had Aerith and Tifa just so they can have Rude being like, I like Tifa, and Song likes that ancient. But there is another reason why we have the two characters in our party, because of this village specifically. There's just something about it that Tifa and Aerith would really like to be a part of, I think, dialogue-wise. And we'll see that in a second. We can head here as well. You can get that Marco reactor theme again. You can have a look at this, a ruined reactor. It's Scarlet, head of Shinra weapon development. This isn't any good either. You only get junky materia from junky reactors. This reactor's a failure. What I'm looking for is big, large, huge materia. You seen any? No, I haven't seen it. I'll get on it right away. Please, we could make the ultimate weapon if only we had some. I just can't wait. With Hojo gone, weapon development's been getting a bigger budget. I envy them. But even if we make the perfect weapon, could that stupid Heidegger even use it? Oh, sorry, I forgot Heidegger was your boss. Yeah, ha ha! Let's go. Big, large, huge materia? An ultimate weapon? The perfect weapon? Just what are the Shinra up to? Something shiny back there. Reach for it. Receive the Titan materia. We got a new summon. So yeah, just a reminder, what we're actually experiencing right now is all optional content. You can completely bypass Gongaga, miss out on that fight with Rude and Reno, miss out on some little story stuff going on with the with this huge materia that they're looking for. It's kind of wild how it is, how it's missable, to be honest. Yes, Titan is Earth. I'll equip that so we can do a little bit of a summon showcase in another fight. It's always good to show the summons off. There's a cool fight in here with a literal Triceratops with a tank as, like, legs. Here it is, yeah. It's so ridiculous. Look at it. I can't wait to fight against it. Where it does a wheelie attack. Alright, where is it? There we go. Titan. You summon, gotta show it off. There he is. It's a big old naked man. Ugh. And Titan is one of the new summons that's going to be in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. What an attack. If this enemy is not in Rebirth, I want to be so disappointed. could probably do with a better name, though. Heavy tank is a little bit uninspired. It's also tough, by the way. It's a tough enemy. It's one of the strongest just base enemies that you'll find in this region. Deservedly so. They're like, yeah, so it's a Triceratops tank thing. Very normal. Probably a Shinra experiment that's just like left like roaming around the reactor. Like Shinra was like, let's graft a tank to this Triceratops, because dinosaurs still exist in Final Fantasy VII, clearly. You get to a point in the game that if you are actually chasing your enemy skills and picking them up properly as soon as possible, you have such a powerful arsenal of attacks, except for when you do laser, which is 0. Couldn't have timed that better myself. You do have a very powerful selection of attacks, because it's like, oh, do you have a character that's kind of like weak and doesn't really have much going for them? Slap the enemy skill on them, and they will be crushing your enemies with like just Aqualung spam. It's an expensive ability, but it's worth it. We also have a new materia to find on the ground just over here, which is Death Blow. And the Death Blow materia is basically its own separate attack command, which is like a critical hit attack, which is pretty good for I think there's a specific materia combination that it's really good for, that we do not have at the moment, but it's quite good. I think this might be, I think this might be the exit. Sadly, I went the wrong way. You can get a little bit turned around out here. Oh my god, it's one frog! Kill it! It's too dangerous to be left alive. Lovely. Alright. We will not take the wrong turn this time. We'll go off to the right. Because you might think that this place is just a waste and it's in ruins, and rightly so, but there is a settlement here. A little cheeky graveyard. A reactor explosion 3 years ago took my husband. Do people really need reactors to live? Aren't there more important things in life? No matter how much I pray, it won't bring our grandson back. I always questioned the size of this cemetery, because it's like, the graves are very close together. I think they'd spread it out a little bit more. And here is another perspective on a town ravaged and destroyed by Shinra with Mako reactors, a ruined reactor. So it's just another area that really drives home the destruction that Shinra leaves in its wake whenever it's like props up a reactor, something goes wrong, and the townspeople pay the price. Let's hear a story. It's been a while since the explosion. You can still find the pieces it left all over town. Let's buy some items. Just your average run-of-the-mill store, same stuff. Here's a weapons store. Huh? Did you want something? Hear a story. People can live without the Shinra's Mako reactors. Accessories here, very good stuff. There's also materia, and it is brand new materia for us as well. There's Mystify, which is like confusion, berserk and stuff like that. And then we've got Time, which is haste, slow, and stop. You will get 2 of those. Fury Ring automatically puts you in Berserk. More white capes, which are very important. You can also get your sleep, darkness, poison, spirit, etc., etc. I will be getting some of this materia and accessories. I'll probably do some gill grinding once again. So another useful materia here to use with the all materia is time, because you straight up get haste. Now, because we have Big Guard, it kind of is more valuable to do that, because you get both physical magic defense and haste at the same time. So it's just better to do that, and it automatically targets your whole party, so instead of having to have the all materia and time and waste 2 materia slots, you can just do that. Confusion and Berserk. I'm basically buying all the materia as it comes through, because you do want to eventually master all of the materia, leveling it all up to maximum, because there is big rewards for doing so later in the game. So we're just adding it to the collection for now. We're in the darkness up here. What, shall we hear a story? It's been a while since the explosion, but you can still find the pieces of it left all over town. I've already heard that story before, man. Let's buy some weapons. So you can buy the Hard Edge, the Grand Glove, Atomic Scissors, the Striking Staff, which we got so long ago from Elagor, Diamond Pin, Boomerang. So these are all weapons that you can steal from enemies. So the game really just allows you to get those much earlier from enemies if you want. And then you can do some interesting things. I don't know why Impaler changes an opponent to a frog. Shrivel makes sense. It uses mini on an opponent. That name makes sense. Impaler changing them to a frog is a bit of a strange one. Don't know why. I think that there's some... Sell a platinum bangle for 900 gil. Star pendant sells for a decent amount if you want to protect the whole party against poison, because honestly, star pendant, you're never going to really use star pendant. Getting poisoned in this game is not a threat. Very easy to fix, and it goes away after battle. I think, like, if status effects persisted outside of battle, it would be much more valuable, and they do persist outside of battle in, like, Final Fantasy VIII, for example. Some of our earlier equipment is now outclassed by silver armlets and stuff, so we don't really need it. We do not need it. So I'm going to buy a Fury Ring. I'll buy another White Cape. And I think that we're good. Need something? Here's a story. One day, a huge explosion killed many of the townspeople. Here's an explosion. I do kind of wish that they maybe put a little bit more effort into the stories. Rebirth will definitely deliver on that front. And we'll just loot these houses. A white M phone, our first weapon for Kate Sith that we can actually pick up. Because remember, there was a megaphone in the Shinra building. Interesting. This is Gongaga village. Many people died here in a Mako reactor explosion. You cannot go upstairs. I wonder why. Because his house has been destroyed. And there's one more house for us to check out. And this is the reason why we bring Tifa and Aerith. You a traveler? Hey, wait! That glow in your eye. Are you in Soldier? Oh, you're right. Don't you know anything about our son? His name is Zach. It's been close to 10 years since he left for the city, saying that he didn't want to live in the country. He left saying he's going to join Soldier. You ever hear of a Zach in Soldier? I don't know. Zach. Young lady, you know him? I remember he wrote us 6 or 7 years ago saying that he had a girlfriend. Could that have been you? That can't... Zach. What happened to you two? I can't believe he hasn't contacted us in 10 years. After all, we're his parents. Have you ever met someone in Soldier named Zach? Now, Cloud doesn't remember this person named Zach. He's like, doesn't ring a bell. Nope. Aerith and Tifa react quite strongly, so they clearly recognize this name. And if you have played Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, or even by osmosis at this point with Final Fantasy, a lot of people know who Zach is. But why doesn't Cloud? That's the big question. Aerith. What a shock. I didn't know Zach was from this town. You know him? Didn't I tell you? He was my first love. There you go. So, this specific line of dialogue, talking about he was my first love, was actually pulled back so much earlier. Because when we're sitting in the Sector 6 area with Aerith, and she says, you know, it was my first boyfriend, just quite casually, you know, like we liked each other, we saw each other for a while, you know, plays very casually because she's also putting on the moves with Cloud a little bit because we remind her of Zach. And then in the remake, it uses this dialogue. It says, like, it was my first love, you know, so it used that one very early. So he was my first love. Zach, Soldier First Class, same as Cloud. That's why Cloud was like, what was his name? I probably knew him. Strange. There aren't that many who make First Class, but I've never heard of him. That's alright. It's all in the past now. I was just worried because I heard he'd been missing. Missing? It was 5 years ago. He went out on a job and never came back. He loved woman. A real ladies' man. He probably found someone else. Hey, what's wrong? Poor guy, or jealous, envious. Poor guy. I don't really mind that I haven't heard from him, but I feel for his parents. Let's go, Cloud. Zach. Do you know him? No, I don't know him. Your face tells me differently. I told you I don't. Alright. That sounds just like you, leaving town and saying, I'm joining Soldier. There were a lot of guys like that back then. You must really be something making it in Soldier out of a group like that. I really respect you. And you can say I just got lucky or I worked hard for it. I feel like Cloud would be, in his current state of mind, is kind of in this train of thought. Hard work pays off, huh? Cloud, thanks for caring. See how Tifa misdirects and she changes the subject. She goes, oh, let's deflect and let's talk about something else. Tifa made it so painfully obvious that she knows who Zach is. She's like, yeah, Zach. And we're like, oh, do you know him? No. She gets really strange about it. What else took place 5 years ago? Certain something about Nibelheim, potentially? That's weird. Things aren't adding up. Things are a little bit strange. Soldier First Class went out on a job 5 years ago. Cloud doesn't know him. What's going on? What's going on? Questions for another time, perhaps. But I do really appreciate the fact that for those that are playing through the game with the knowledge of what comes ahead of time, and, you know, people who might, you know, already be aware of it through Final Fantasy VII media in general, like, replaying this game has so many sweet little lore nuggets like that that I think is really worthwhile. And even if you haven't experienced it yet, there are those pieces, just a little breadcrumb trail of, like, foreshadowing, you know? But really good stuff. So Tifa and Aerith have a bit of a reaction to the name Zack. And it will remain a mystery for a little while. Why the hell doesn't Cloud know who Zack is? Because first class is it's a rare club. So we will bring Yuffie back into the mix. And we don't really want the Fury Ring at this moment in time. We would like to utilize Yuffie's abilities because, yeah, if you do decide to put Fury Ring on, you are eliminating that person from combat every single time. Because you can't cure it, because it's on their accessory instead of having Berserk casted on them. And you can use a remedy or something like that. So we'll go back to Tifa and Yuffie now, and we'll push onward to the next location. And for the sake of the story doing what the story wants you to do, we are going to drive the buggy all the way to the designated location that we're heading to, because next up is Cosmo Canyon. And we may be coming close to a forced pit stop. I think this is one of the areas that I am most excited to see given to us in the remake's graphical style, because I really like this canyon area. I think it's quite beautiful. Like, this region in general, it's going to be amazing going past Gongaga and seeing, like, this waterfall area, and then you cross over into these canyons. You see the lighting change. You can have a look, and you see your little settlement up there. You go and have a look at, and yeah, like I said, for the sake of story, we'll just pretend that we've never played this game before and drive up here. You can exit the buggy at this point and push forward if you want, and there are benefits to doing that, but it does change the some interactions a little bit. We'll take on the Gundam. It's such an interesting enemy that's just in the canyon here. It always kind of confused me. Like, what is this guy doing here? It seems like something you'd fight near Gongaga with, like, the reactor. Like, this could be like a Shinra thing, but it's just such an interesting enemy. It's got a, like, coat of arms on the chest as well. It's like, what are you doing here? As we proceed to this interesting looking thing on the mountainside, I will shift over our party members ever so slightly. We're going to put Barrett in our party. We're gonna just drive a little past this place. Let's just keep driving. Oh, what's going on? Huh? What? Now that's not good. What? Bad timing. A breakdown now? Yes, so you could leave the buggy before this point and it won't break down. So if there's ever a point where you want to, like, backtrack and drive back where we've come from, you can do so, because now we have to walk if you want to do that. But for the sake of the story, we will allow it to play out as intended. So the buggy is broken down as a forced pit stop to visit this conspicuous looking location in the hillside here. We get this beautiful view of one of my favorite locations in the entire game. I love this place so much, and I'm so looking forward to seeing this in Rebirth because it just has such significance. I love the music, I love the atmosphere. This is going to be such a highlight of part 2 of the remake, absolutely. I am home, it is I, Nanaki. Hey Nanaki, you're safe. Come on and say hello to Bugenhagen. Nanaki? Huh? Who's that? And there is this revelation. Of course, Hojo only named him Red 13. He says, call me whatever you wish. And for people who replay the game, myself included, there is the sort of popular naming choice to just name him Nanaki as soon as you're able, because you can't rename your companions. So it does lead to some confusion sometimes, where it can be a little bit immersion breaking if you do name him Nanaki, because you get to a point like this where you're like, huh? Welcome to Cosmo Canyon. Are you familiar with this land? Nope. Let me explain. People from all over the world gather here to seek the study of planet life. Woo! I always wanted to come here. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's full now, so I can't let you enter. Barrett's like, oh! They helped me when I was on the road. Please let them in. Oh, is that so? You helped out Nanaki? Please, come in. Who is Nanaki? Nanaki is Nanaki. That is his name. So yes, if you name him that, it's like, huh? It's very confusing. Make yourselves at home. And we will! I absolutely adore Cosmo Canyon. Yay, Nanaki! Nanaki's back. It's all thanks to this flame. This fire is called Cosmo Candle. It has burned for generations. It is a holy flame that protects this canyon. I've heard it only went out once, long ago. The elders said something horrifying occurred, but I really don't know much else about it. So this is Cosmo Canyon. Quite a mysterious place. Have you come to seek the study of planet life? Nope. We're kind of forced here. Oh yeah? What? The car broke down? Why don't you look around Cosmo Canyon while I fix the car? There you go. So look out for the construction guy and be like, hey man, what's the help? And off he goes. See you later. Off he goes to go fix that car for us. Is that so? You brought Nanaki back here? Yeah, thanks. Welcome. How about our original cocktail, Cosmo Candle? A drink now and then is good for you. It'll relax you a bit, if you know when to stop. Cosmo Candle cocktail. You can also head up here for an item shop. And this is actually the first store that you can buy ethers in. They cost a lot though, 1,500. But luckily we've been able to steal and obtain a decent amount over our travels, so we don't need to fork out such an insane amount of money. And there is another building over there, but we are blocked from this with this red rope at the moment. So we'll have to come back later for that, because there's a really useful item back there. Too powerful for now, so they have to restrict it. And here we go, we can now head on up. Here is where this is my hometown. My tribe were protectors of those who appreciate this beautiful canyon and the planet. My brave mother fought and died here, but my cowardly father left her. I am the last of my race. Cowardly father? Yes, my father was a wastrel. And so the mission I inherited from my ancestors is to protect this place. My journey ends here. Hey, Nanaki, you're home. Coming, Grandpa. The last of his race, but has a grandfather. How does that work? It's perfect. Why don't we take a break too? We can meet back here in a while, okay? We'll follow after our companions. Turtles Paradise newsletter number 4. Now hiring. Looking for someone who can stand long hours of boredom. For details, contact the Turtles Paradise. Oh, welcome. People of this canyon hate to compete, so almost everything here are replicas. But that's alright. Some of them you really can use. New weapons. Very good ones too. And you can finally buy a 3rd silver armlet, which we will. Yeah, upgrades for everyone. I always find it very interesting how they obviously have Red 13 leave the party and they're like, this is as far as I go, bye. But why could we buy a weapon for him then? I will be buying all of these. They are very expensive. We'll probably do some money grinding at some point for all of those, but we'll leave that be for now. And for a second, we're actually going to head back over here into this area, because I know Tifa ran into that doorway, but she will be here in a second. But there is a Turtles Paradise number 5 for us to find here. Our cocktails are good, but our wine is the best. Please stop at the Turtles Paradise. And what's really interesting is if you actually see this this Turtles Paradise flyer on the wall here, that icon, that image, is actually a map of the icicle area much later on in the game, in the snowy area of the Gaia Cliffs. That is the icicle area. So you'll see that map come up again when we're in that region. It looks exactly like that. It's just really strange that that's a Turtles Paradise flyer. But it's really interesting that it's on the wall like that. Because Turtles Paradise is not located anywhere near the icicle area. Look how cozy the inns in this game look. Those beds just look super comfortable, don't they? I just want to spend some time in here. I would live here. Yeah, you got a mini fridge? It's a great atmosphere. Super, super cozy. Yes, Turtles Paradise flyers 4 and 5 located in this area, and when we go back to the Gold Saucer, we will get number 3. I'm going to have a look in here, because Barrett is here, and we'll want to have a little bit of a chat with him. There was this guy who studied planetary life here. He couldn't take things the way they were, so he went to Midgar to form Avalanche. Want to hear more? Go on. Guess you could say this is where Avalanche was born. I've always wanted to come here, and finally, I made it. A lot's happened. And then, I don't know what's going to happen now that there is no Avalanche. So this is cool because this gives us the little bit of lore of Avalanche, right? Because the compilation of 7 builds on with the whole Avalanche concept that there are multiple cells within Avalanche, and the remake shows us this as well, where another cell of Avalanche directly shows up that is not associated with Biggs, Wedge, Jesse, or Barrett, or any of that. And it's really cool to actually see that the idea and concept of that didn't come out of nowhere like it is here in the original game. It's like, yeah, there was some dude that was like studying here, and he went on to form Avalanche. So it sort of gives you that necessary context that Barrett's part of Avalanche is like his own thing, his own part of that, but there is a wider movement for the planet, which I think is really, really cool. And Barrett always wanted to come here because this is where Avalanche was born. And you only get that dialogue, you only get that lore if Barrett is in your party, which is why we did a quick little party swap before we came in here. Yawn, sir. You forgot your change? Yes, I'm coming. You hit a shop? That's right. Oh, is that, sir, you hit a shop? Oh, I'm sorry. We hardly do ever get customers, but I have confidence in our materia. MP plus and HP plus, very expensive, very useful. But we can't afford those at this time. If we had Yuffie in our party, she'd be in the shop, and she comments on that the materia is trash. Oh man, I'm so busy. I need more help. Gongaga sealed his door shut. How do you do that? With super glue? Yeah, Tifa should be in that inn area at that table. Like you can find Barrett. Not sure why Tifa didn't show up. Because that's where she should be. Let me just take a look. I'm gonna run back here again and see if she's there. Because yeah, Tifa should be sat at this table. Yeah, okay. Red 13. I wonder what's happened to Red 13. He's as excited as a little boy. There you go. Yeah, Tifa's resting in there. Barrett is currently reflecting on Avalanche stuff. It's cool that he's so excited. It's going to be a very emotional and touching scene in Rebirth. There's going to be a lot of emotions. It's probably going to be the most emotional thing yet. Get ready for our Star Wars Empire Strikes Back of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. It's going to be dark and it's going to be emotional. And I'm going to eat it all up. And I just love looking at this shot. I love that they give us an opportunity to just admire the whole environment in one shot like that. So cool. One of my favorite locations in the whole game. It's going to be such a story highlight too. Hello. Cloud, this is my grandfather, Ugin. He's incredible. He knows everything. This old man floating on an orb. This dude confused the hell out of me when I was a kid, because I'm like, what's going on? Where's his legs? How is he floating? What is that? And there's concept art of him that makes it so much easier to understand what's going on here than a early PS1 model. Is he's sat on the orb and he's got his legs crossed, so he's like, the orb is bigger than him and he's sat on it and it floats. But here it looks like his bottom half is an orb and he floats. It confused the hell out of me as a kid, because I'm like, how does this work? But yeah, he does have legs. He is cross-legged, and I guess his robes are just draped over. Ho ho ho, I hear that you looked after Nanaki. Nanaki is still a child, you see. Please stop, grandfather. I'm 48. Ho ho ho, Nanaki's tribe has incredible longevity. So, you see, his 48 years would only be equivalent to, say, that of a 15 or 16-year-old in human reckoning. 15 or 16? He's quiet and very deep. You thought he was an adult. He's but a teenage boy. Grandfather, I want to be an adult. I want to grow up to be able to protect you in the village. No, Nanaki, you can't stand on your own yet. To do that now would destroy you in the long run. Reaching up into the heavens, threatening to snatch the very stars from the great city of Midgar. You've seen it, haven't you? Well, that's a bad example. Looking up too much makes you lose perspective. And he bounces around. I'm like, huh? And look, the shadows of the bottles look like his legs. When it's time for the planet to die, you'll understand that you know absolutely nothing. When the planet dies, it may be tomorrow or 100 years from now, but it's not long off. How do you know this? I hear the cries of the planet. Get ready for some of the most creepiest and unnerving sounds that you ever get to be exposed to in this game. Which, if you're playing this game as a child, you're like, cool, I'm about to be traumatized by these sounds. What's that? The sounds of the stars in the heavens. While this goes on, planets are born and die. Like, just listen to that. It's so fucking creepy. It just comes out of nowhere, because this is the big old lore location. You come here, you learn about some shit. And it's like, what was that? Oh, you know. That was a scream from the planet. That's just the planet screaming. Just casually, by the way. Hope you sleep well tonight. Didn't you hear it? As if to say, I hurt. I suffer. They have come here on a journey to save the planet. Why don't you show them your apparatus? To save the planet? But then again, I guess it wouldn't hurt to show him. Bugenhagen. Several odd-looking people are here. The whole place has gotten busy all of a sudden. He brought friends too. I'll go get them. That's the rest of our party getting out of the buggy finally and being like, oh, I'm sick and tired of waiting. Cloud, please call one of them. Only 3 people can fit in Grandfather's machine. Don't worry, my machine won't run away. Go and invite your friends. Something that's really strange here, dialogue-wise, is Red 13 says, go and get one of them, because the lift can only hold 3 people, and I'm assuming that means Cloud, Bugenhagen, and one other, but you have to fill up your party to 3 people. It's weird. They're going to allow you to have the whole party, assumedly, I would say, for Rebirth. What did they say? And you go, please make a party of 3. So you literally have to make your party of 3 people. We'll bring Tifa and Aerith for this one. I don't think Barrett actually has anything to say if you take him upstairs, which is really strange. Yeah, you talk to a character, and then you can assemble your party of 3. They're all here. So you can see that Yuffie's in here. God, I hate studying. But yeah, her dialogue is different now, but if you brought her here, you should comment on how lame the materia is. Aerith can be found in the inn where Tifa is. Barrett is found where we saw Barrett that first time. We've seen Kate Sith and Yuffie. And then that's kind of it for the people. But there's actually one place that we can go before we go and see Bugenhagen. And I think that the place is... where am I going? Here, this spot. We want to go in here. Because Red 13 is in here. Nanaki. So he's in the back. You can find him in this cute little bed spot. Don't worry about me. I've seen it many times. I haven't been back for a while. Let me rest for a bit. So So he's just going to have a little snooze. So that's where you can find Red. But he's not coming along. I can't remember if Tifa says anything either. I know that Aerith does. Because it would be strange if Aerith didn't, given the significance of this place, but, yeah. This will be our group of 3. Here, over here. The door's unlocked. Come in. Come on in. It looks like you have them all together. Then let's begin. I'll stand there. This is going to be absolutely gorgeous in Rebirth. Oh my god. I cannot wait. It's only a couple of months away now. Ready for brain to go big? So pretty. It's just like the real thing. Yes, pretty good. This is my laboratory. All the workings of space are entered into this 3D holographic system. Virtual reality. Hey, a shooting star. Wow, how wonderful. Yes, it is something, isn't it? Well, let's get to the subject. Eventually, all humans die. What happens to them after they die? The body decomposes and returns to the planet. That much everyone knows. What about their consciousness, their hearts, and their souls? The soul, too, returns to the planet. And not only those of humans, but everything on this planet, in fact. All living things in the universe are the same. The spirits that return to the planet merge with one another and roam the planet. They roam, converge, and divide, becoming a swell called the life stream. And there is our first mention of that beautiful energy that we see within the world. It is the life stream. In other words, a path of energy of the souls roaming the planet. Spirit energy is a word that you should never forget. A new life, children are blessed with spirit energy and are brought into the world. Then, the time comes when they die and once again return to the planet. Of course there are exceptions, but this is the way of the world. I've digressed, but you'll understand better if you watch this. Really curious at how they're gonna do this in Rebirth, how they're gonna showcase this kind of stuff, because obviously this is late 90s, very primitive. It's like, here's a guy on top of the world and he's dying, turning into energy. So is the plant life around him. It's so gorgeous, and this music is beautiful. And new life is born from that spirit energy. Spirit energy is the source of life for trees, birds, and humans. And not only living things, it makes it possible to form planets. It is what holds the galaxy together. And if that spirit energy were to disappear, this is essentially the concept of the Force, binds the galaxy together. These are the basics of the study of planet life. If spirit energy disappears, our planet will die. Spirit energy is efficient because it exists within nature. When spirit energy is forcefully extracted and manufactured, it can't accomplish its true purpose. Are we picking up what they're putting down? Because what is happening in the world with these reactors right now? With Shinra, we're talking about Mako energy, right? Every day, Mako reactors suck up spirit energy, diminishing it. Spirit energy is compressed in reactors and processed into Mako energy. All living things are being used up and thrown away. Much like real life, with our own fossil fuels and natural resources being drained up and the planet being slowly but surely killed in the process, using limited resources for power instead of limitless energy alternatives for a much cleaner world. We unfortunately are stuck in the past and only slowly making progress towards a cleaner and brighter future. So it's still a message that is very relevant to today, because it's all in the pursuit of Dosh. In other words, Mako energy will only destroy the planet. Yeah, Tifa doesn't say anything either, so Aerith gets like the dialogue because she's so fascinated with it. Oh, it's bright in here. The story of the planets and those who lived with them. If you want to know more, then you must listen to the words of the elders. Nanaki? His father a coward. So that's it. Nanaki's been thinking that all this time. Hoo-hoo-hoo, that's a machine only I can use. Alright, off we go. So, Bugenhagen seems to know something about Nanaki's father that he doesn't. Now we'll head out to where everybody else is. Everyone has gathered. We'll go and join everyone and sit at the Cosmo candle. What a boring place, just like I thought. I want to go somewhere. Let's go find some materia. I wonder how many years it's been. Gosh, it brings back memories. Cosmo Canyon. This is where Avalanche was born. So this is the little bit, this is the Avalanche stuff that you are meant to get, but the stuff before is extra. You get a little more dialogue. I promised my guys someday, when we save the planet from the Shinra, that we'd all go to Cosmo Canyon and celebrate. Biggs, Wedge, Jesse. Now they're all gone. Died for the planet. Really? To save the planet? We all hate the Shinra. But is it right to go on? Will they ever forgive me? Right now, I really don't know. But I do know one thing. If there's anything I can do to save the planet or the people living on it, I'm gonna do it! I don't care if it's for justice or revenge or whatever. I don't care. Oh, I'm gonna do it! Again! Avalanche is born again! There you go, so Avalanche, as a group, is born again, this group around the candle tonight. And it's so sad because, you know, how he talks about how Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse, he wanted to bring them here to celebrate. And he's here, he made it, but just without them. And I think this is something that I think is not going to be as effective in Rebirth, because it's a conflicting feeling, right? Because the remake gave us an opportunity to really emotionally bond with Biggs, Wedge, and Jessie way more. You spend a lot more time with them. You even have some Jessie-focused, like, mission stuff, which gives you so much more of her character, and there's so much more to relate to empathize with, and to really, like, drive the knife in the wound when the pillar falls and Biggs, Wedge, and Jessie die. And then it's revealed that Wedge survived. And the plot ghosts hate that because Wedge is supposed to die, so they're all kind of surrounding him. And Wedge is an anomaly. Wedge survives in the remake storyline. I always thought that it would be an interesting thing if he was to stay alive to die later, and I thought that that was actually the way that they were going to do it. They were going to give us an opportunity for the character to, like, survive for longer and then still go out because they're all supposed to die. But Wedge lives, and then you get to the end credits of part 1 of the remake, and in an alternate timeline, Biggs survives, you know. And that's been all over the marketing material at the moment for Rebirth, is Biggs, the last surviving member of Avalanche, which is, you know, showing a poster of, like, Tifa, Barrett, Wedge, Jessie. They're all dead in the alternate timeline where Zack is alive and he's just chilling. Aerith's in a coma. Weird stuff, right? Weird stuff. And I think as a result, this moment might not emotionally resonate as much, but it really depends on how they're going to handle it and what they decide to go with, because Rebirth is going to be really emotional. It's going to have a lot of touching character moments, because this is where we get a lot of backstory. We go into a lot of detail with characters, especially like with Barrett, with the Coral stuff, and here at with the Avalanche stuff, and Red 13, we're currently about to go through his stuff. It's a lot. There's a lot to go through. So I do wonder how they're going to handle the Biggs, Wedge, and Jessie stuff here, because it'll just be Biggs and Jessie, really. And Wedge is there too. It's a conflicting feeling, for sure. Just like, it's something where I kind of wish that they stuck to their guns in terms of the sacrifices, you know, and had all 3 of them go out. Like, I think it's okay. I'm okay with one of them surviving, and I'm okay with it being Wedge. It'll just be handled differently. We'll see. Cloud. Bonfires are funny, aren't they? They make you remember all sorts of things. You know, Cloud, 5 years ago. It's nothing. No, forget it. I'm afraid to ask. What is it? It feels like you're going far away. You really are you, right? Cloud then proceeds not to answer that question. Another weird one. You really are you, right? And if we have a good hard look at what's going on at the moment up to this point, even without future knowledge, you've got Cloud having holes in his memory, you've got these weird flashes going on, you've got this voice in the darkness talking to him whenever he's, like, asleep or when he's, like, blacked out, like, nudging him on, and Cloud's like, who are you? What's going on? You've got Cloud telling the story of Nibelheim, and there are things that don't line up or don't make sense, or Cloud doesn't remember things, and Tifa's like, she just stays quiet through a lot of it, and there are just many more questions that arise. And then the Zack stuff, when we go to Gongaga, Tifa's like, yeah, I don't know him. Don't know him at all. Just weird stuff. And you start to really be like, what's going on there underneath? Like, is Cloud really Cloud? What is happening here? And there's a quote in Rebirth that we've gotten in one of the trailers where Cloud talks about. He's like, I know things I shouldn't. There are things that I don't know that I should, and then there are things that I know that I have no right knowing, like stuff like that. And I think that's gonna be awesome. The way that Cloud is going to navigate his own confusion. I learned a lot. The elders taught me many things about the Cetra and the Promised Land. I'm alone. I'm all alone now. But we're here for you, right? I know, but I'm the only Cetra. Does that mean we can't help? Long ago, when I was still very small, we were all around this flame. No, never mind. What happened? It's about my parents. When I talk about my mother, I'm full of pride and joy, and that's fine, but when I think of my father, my heart is full of anger. You really can't forgive your father? Of course. He left Mother for dead. When the G-Tribe attacked, he ran off by himself, leaving Mother and the people of the canyon. Come, Nanaki. There's something you should see. Huh? The place may be dangerous. Cloud, will you and one other person come with us? Alright, it's party time. We will be taking Aerith. Which means I've got to do a little bit of inventory management before we proceed. Right, I have my team. We are ready to move on out. Follow the floating orb, man. Make an opportunity to save here. Ho ho ho! Are we all set? Yeah! Ho ho ho! Shall we go? Little trash can verification camera. All right, come in, come in. Okay, you lead the way, Grandpa. What? You crazy? It's dangerous in there, I told you that. You want an old man like me to go in first? I'll be right behind you. My favorite thing is how it really sort of communicates to you that the music that you hear in Cosmo Canyon is not outside of the world. It's not for us. That music that we're listening to is in the game world, and as we slowly go down into the depths, the music gets quieter and quieter and quieter, harder for us to hear. I really like that touch. That is just music that's being played in Cosmo Canyon. It's awesome. And now we are in Spooky Land. That music straight away. Look at this, and this is again, stuff that you get to see where the pre-rendered backgrounds are higher quality. Like, look at this giant skeleton. Look at that. Look at these bones. It's creepy down here. This is a strange looking rock. Break it open. Ah! We're under attack by ghosts. So these are G Spectres. Spectres of the G tribe. If you will. Nothing to steal. We did spy a cool little materia up on the cliff there, so we want to make sure that we get that. Yeah, we've got some unique enemies that are only found in this location. Ghosts of the G tribe. Really looking forward to seeing what these enemies look like in better graphics. It's like one of my favorite things about the first part was seeing these classic Final Fantasy VII monsters brought to life in such a massive way. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be cool. Because they have not disappointed so far. Oh, enemy skill time. Death sentence enemy skill. So hopefully we can get that cast on Cloud as well. Maybe next time. Ho ho ho! Everyone here's a ghost of the G tribe, killed in a certain battle. A certain battle? The vengeful spirits of the G didn't disappear and couldn't return to the life stream. We still have far to go. Hoo-hoo-hoo. That's why he was saying that there are sometimes exceptions. That's why ghosts exist in Final Fantasy VII. Walk over this sludge. Otherwise you will be met with a wall of spikes. Now we've got the added effect materia, which is actually quite an interesting one. So it adds the materia status to equipped weapon or armor. This one's peculiar. I never really kind of figured this one out or utilized it to its full potential because it's different to elemental. And it's actually one that I'm not super aware of what it can do. I think it's more like it's more of a status effect one. So like how you have elemental for the elemental materia, added effect is like you would use it for like the confusion one and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. So added effect. This is the only way to obtain the materia. This is the only copy of it in the game. So the best way to get multiple copies of it is you have to master the materia. So you can utilize certain materias. So if you use added effect and basically will go off of the materia that we currently own. Poison, seal, silence and sleep, time, slow and stop, transform, small and frog. Chocomog is actually stop, which is really interesting, as well as the time materia. And then there are other materias in this game as well that do other effects. So basically it provides a 1 in 5 chance to inflict a status effect after attacking, and if you put it on the armor, it makes the wearer immune to the status effect, which is quite cool. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, more of an actual status effect one. So for example, with Chocomog, you can attack enemies and stop them dead in their tracks. And you wouldn't think so, because it's like, this is a wind material. There you go. But it obviously has to be on the weapon, and currently that's not going to fly, because everyone's got double materia growth stuff on. But it has a lot of uses. See, there you go. You slip and you gotta walk on the slime. Oh, nice. Death Sentence is also from these guys, so there you go. We have learnt Death Sentence. Curious who will get their level 3 limit break first. It'll either be Cloud or Aerith. Alright, I'm gonna walk over here. Navigate this maze. This is more fixed perspective funny stuff, because you're like, oh, I gotta go under there to get this one. There's also a very high encounter rate area, this one. And we grab another item for Kate Sith, the Black M phone. Basically, least creative names for weapons ever. Everyone gets cool names for all of their stuff, and then Kate Sith gets, oh yeah! This is a green megaphone. This is a white one. This is a black one. It's like, okay, cool. You never really think about this, but like, if you look at this fucking design, you can see that like his fucking hands are mouths. Like, look at that. Like, what the fuck? Like weird back feet, and then like spiky tail, and then you've got like actual mouth hands. What the fuck? That's the triple attack. It's the hands and the mouth all at once. What a horrifying creature. The sneaky step. Just weird names for them too. Yeah, that's a sneaky step. It's like, huh? Love the casual blood pool as well down the bottom here. Is it going to be like this in Rebirth with the censoring they did for the Trail of Blood in the remake? We'll see. As you can see, this cave leads to the back of Cosmo Canyon. Even though the G outnumbered us, they could not attack through here because the passage is too narrow. Let's move on. Ah, yes. This is fun. Let me see if I get this right. Yes. No. Damn it. Nope. Oh no, I'm being tricked. Hold on. I have to go all the way around. I have fooled myself. Alright, this encounter, or these fixed encounters are tough ones. I love this design too, the stinger. They're tough. You actually do want to protect yourselves against these. I don't think you can manipulate them. I can't remember if you can steal anything from them, actually. They're just so frighteningly thin. Look at them all. Yeah, I think they've got 2,000 health. Alright, they do have something to steal. My brain wants to say turbo either. Have I remembered correctly? Oh, I just killed the enemy. cured the enemy instead of curing us. I panicked because Red 13 was close to death. Come on, let me get this steel, please, so I can finish the job. This is always the worst part. It's either an turbo ether or an X potion. Be like that, huh? Oh, it's only a normal ether. Okay. See, my brain was like turbo ether, because I thought it was gonna be more. Alright. Eh. Nothing special. You can finish it off then. Oh god. Use the limit breaks on the next one. Stealing just normal ethers, eh. Don't really care about that. Oh, nope. I do not wish to quit. I'd like to remain. Actually, I kind of take that back. Stealing ethers is almost crucial with how much we've been using it. Tricked myself. I thought that we're actually supposed to go down here. See, another perspective thing. Now we got a fairy ring, which is protecting against both poison and darkness. Basically, removing the need for you to wear a headband or a star pendant, because now you've just got one that does both. And then we're going to go over this side. 2, 3, 4, 4 crit. That's a one-hit kill. Thank you. Ready. And we can push up here. X potion. That's where the X potion part of my memory came from. I was like, turbo ether or an X potion. Turns out, it's a normal ether, and then you get the X potion from a chest. Amazing. One more. Yeah. Let's have a look at what Stardust Ray does. Just a nice amount of damage all in one go there. Ouch. Sting Bomb is the one to watch out for. It's a horrible attack. He's gonna be, like, it's just gonna be so cool to fight. Now, Final Fantasy VII is already easy enough, right? So we're not going to... There's the turbo ether. Oh my god. This room, see, there's the part of my brain of like knowing what's in this game, and it's getting jumbled up. I'm like, there's a turbo ether in this game, and I'm pretty sure I get it from this enemy or an X potion, and both of those are in the chests. Oh my god, that's funny. I'm like, I swear that you get these. So what was I going to say? We're not going to trivialize this upcoming encounter because it's very easy to do so, because if you play by the rules of what, you know, certain spells or certain items do against certain monsters, you can easily trivialize this encounter, but we'll do it legitimately because like it's already simple enough, and I would like to actually spend a bit more time in the boss fight. But it is a fun one. It's pretty funny. I'll make a save file so I can at least show it off. This warrior went through the cave all alone, fighting attackers one after another. Grandpa, that warrior. Hoo hoo hoo! We're almost there. Let us proceed. This is also the stuff of nightmares. This is horrifying as well. Again, rated G for general audiences. This shit is horrifying. Get ready to be traumatized, kids! And this is really amazing too. I love that this is something that Bugenhagen, we're going through here, and he's like, come on! And he's being so nonchalant. He's like, wait, what is this? Grandpa, is he... After death, the ghosts of the G, like stagnant air. This can't be! Oh, it's horrifying, dude. Here's our boss theme. Look at this, so cool. I can't wait to see this. So now we've got fire spirits casting fire on themselves to heal themselves. Let's go with Shiva straight away, shall we? Oh god, I forgot about this. So there's this takeover ability. The fire spirit will then take over this host and then cast fire too. So if you have the fire ring, which we do have equipped on Aerith, obviously that'll do nothing. So Aerith is immune to the fire. We'll do Blade Beam. I'm gonna eliminate these fire spirits. Blade Beam. Just for a bit of fun. It's draining, and it's a ghost. It's like a little bit of undead. What happens if we cast Cure on this undead enemy? Cure 2 on a ghost? Ooh, it did damage! Look at the fact that it's literally a hovering corpse with its spine out as well. It's pretty crazy. Fire effects are nullified, baby. And we're finally going to use Aerith's limit, which is Fury Brand. Time to push those limits up of my companions. Yeah. Nothing, Steve. Didn't think so. Stardust Ray. You see how That enemy is able to break our guard. Just totally shattered Aerith's defenses there. Limb hazard. Yeah, if this boss fight can completely take you off guard as well, because it's a tough one, and those fire spirits can be quite frustrating to deal with. Fire spirit is finally coming out. I wonder if the other one will come out and I can cast the Aqua Lung enemy skill. Try and get all of them in one go. I don't think I've ever eliminated the fire spirits before. Soul Fire and Gene Attack. And also, it's a good thing that this isn't considered a long-range fight either, because the enemies are floating up above, similar to like Bottomswell in Junon Harbor, so you'd think that it would apply by the same rules of being a long-range encounter, but it's not. There we go. Okay, all of them are out. Aqualung time. Aqualung on the whole group. And we have Aspiel, which is draining MP, I think. Yep. Aerith's limit break is here, baby. Here we go. So double Aqualung. This might actually wipe out all of them. We'll see. Oh, it doesn't do anything! Oh shit! It does 0! I actually thought it would do damage to the fire ones. Holy shit. Alright, fuck me, I guess. Fury brand time. Time to give my other teammates their limit breaks. Wow. I wonder why that does 0 damage. Curious. Really thought that would have done additional stuff to the fire spirits. Stardust Ray, then. One of the fire spirits is missing, sadly. Nice. There you go. I wanted that to feel like a proper boss encounter because it's so cool. And yes, we did poke a little bit of fun at the fight there for a second by casting Cure 2 on the enemy because it's an undead boss. So if you wanted to, if you casted Life or used a Phoenix down on that enemy, it's a one-hit kill. Because what is the opposite of reviving someone with one of those items? If you reverse the effects of it, what happens? Thank you, Cloud. Because of you, we survived. Nanaki, you have grown strong too. Oh yeah? Now I know that it wasn't a mistake bringing you here. Come, I have something I want to show you. Right over here. And just before we do go into what's just beyond here, I'm going to quickly do a little bit of a soft reset. And we are going to do this encounter again, just so I can show you. Because it's entertaining. It's funny. What is this? God, that face! Cursed. Alright. Oh my god, it's Gene Attack. What are we gonna do here? Cast fire on yourself all you want. Oh, there you go. we get to see Red 13 get taken over by the Soul Fire. Life! Oh, it missed. Alright, Phoenix down. Why are you missing? What the fuck? What are you doing? Excuse me. Thank you. Oh my god! Why did I miss so many times? So, oh my god. It just says death. So, I don't know why the fuck that took so long. I guess it's because, obviously, you can miss, right? It doesn't want you to just first move, destroy the fight. It obviously it has a chance to hit straight away, but goddamn, I love how the game was like, we're just going to embarrass this dude who wants to show off this cool, fun thing by missing constantly. So yeah, so casting life, using a Phoenix down, either one of those items will inflict death, and then it will just kill it in one hit. So that's fun. Took a few attempts, but we got there. And now we can continue. It just unfortunately costed a few Phoenix downs, but that's okay. We got the gravity materia, which is really cool. So you've got demi magic now. One of those rare moments where all the party walks together. And yeah. This is like a top 5 moment of the whole game. This is the warrior who fought against the G. He kept them from taking even one step into Cosmo Canyon. But he was never able to return to town. Look, Nanaki. Look at your father, at the warrior Seto. Like, this fucking scene, like, pulls at my heartstrings so fucking hard. The music is perfect. It's so beautiful. The way that this is set up and, like, just seeing this, like, oh, man. It's perfect. That's Seto. Seto continued to fight the G tribe here to protect this canyon. Even after the G's poisonous arrows turned his body to stone. Even after they all ran away, Seto continued to protect us. And he continues to protect us, even now. Even now. You thought that he was a coward and ran away, but he, alone, risked his life to protect Cosmo Canyon. That is your father, Seto. That is Seto. Did Mother know? She knew. The two of them made me promise to keep this cave shut. They asked me to seal it myself and not to tell a soul. They said that we should forget about this cave. Cloud, would you mind leaving the two of us alone? Resisting the urge to knead my tissues, dude. Nanaki, I want you to continue your journey with Cloud and the others. Grandpa, listen, Nanaki. Cloud says they are trying to save the planet. Honestly, I don't think it can be done. For even if they stop every reactor on the planet, it's only going to postpone the inevitable. Even if they stop Sephiroth, everything will perish. But Nanaki, I've been thinking lately. I've been thinking if there was anything we could do as a part of the planet, something to help a planet already in misery. No matter what happens, isn't it important to try? Am I just wishing against fate? I am too old to do anything about it. This year I'll be 130. Ho ho ho. That is why, Nanaki, you must go with them, for my sake. Grandpa. I wanted to show you your real father before you left. I'm so glad you came back while I was still alive to show you. Grandpa, don't talk like that. I don't want to think of life without you. Well, I've had a long life. Grandpa, you must live! I'll see to it. I'll see to what's happening to the planet, and I'll come back to tell you. Nanaki. I am Nanaki of Cosmo Canyon, the son of the warrior Seto. I'll come back a warrior true to that noble name. So please, Grandpa. Hold the tissues. I don't need them, dude. That's Seto's. Seto. Father. Oh no. Okay, tissues. Oh man. As soon as Seto's like petrified body starts crying, that's when all the men cry. He's still in there, petrified, protecting them even now. And then he hears what Nanaki had to say and cries through the petrification, and it fucking kills me, dude. Yeah, one of like top 5 moments of the game is the Cosmo Canyon segment, and that is just like the cherry on top with Red 13 learning the truth, and being tasked to go with us with a new resolve. Instead of thinking that he had his cowardly father, he was a true warrior to the very end. They said they finished fixing the buggy. Shall we get going? So this is it. Red 13. That's just the way it goes. Came in handy at times. Alright, we can make our party. I think pushing forward. I'll take Tifa and actually take Barrett and Aerith for our party, and I'll have to rearrange some equipment. We'll do that soon. And this is why I think I chose the best time to finally go and replay this game, because Rebirth is out in a couple of months, so all of these sequences are going to be so much more fresh in my mind again, and it's just looking forward to how these are going to play out, you know? The repair on your car is completed. Now you should be able to go wherever you want. How much do I owe? No charge. You'd do the same for me, right? Please, take 1,000 gil. Are you sure? Well, alright, thank you. Oh yeah, did you stay at the inn already? There was a bottle on the sofa there a couple of days ago. Was it yours? Bottle of sofa. Bottle of sofa. Bottle on the sofa. What's this? Received elixir. Nice. There you go. So if you want a free... Oh, it's not even free. If you want 1,000 gil elixir, there you go. Now, we do have 12,000 gil. So we are able to buy some weapons. think we can afford everything. It's still too much for everyone, so I need to get the silver barrette, the pinwheel, and the green M foam. Sell some of your older equipment that you're not going to use much of anymore, but wait for me, I'm coming too. Cloud, please look after Nanaki. What happened? I think I grew up a little. That's what happened. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Come back whenever you need my knowledge. And there we go, we're back, and the buggy is fixed, and we can go off once again on our adventures. But as we find ourselves in the repaired buggy and continuing to journey forward, that is where we're going to bring this episode to a close. So thank you so much for joining me today for our Gongaga and Cosmo Canyon adventure. Yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of the game, and it hits those emotional beats for sure, tugs at the heartstrings. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous to see this in Rebirth, and I hope they do the scene justice as well. So thank you so much for joining me today for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.